All right, here is a look at the consensus top 6 picks. And listen, Simmons and Ingram could flip 1 and 2. I mean,
sure,
that could happen. Dragan Bender to Boston at 3, and then Jaylen Brown. Jamal Murray, we have him slotted at 5th, and Chris Dunn from Providence at the 6th spot. Our draft coverage begins next Monday. Joining us now on the set is David Aldridge of NBA.com and TNT. And David, it's interesting. Boston is such a player in this draft with all their draft picks, and we have them with their pick at 3. Will they stay there? Will they deal? Who really knows? Do you?
Well, look, I think they want to move it. They've got 3 of the top 23 picks. We saw what they did last year. They tried to offer 4. They offered 4 draft picks to Charlotte so they could move up to 9. They're in a much better position this year. Look, they want to add a veteran player to go along with the other Isaiah Thomas, as I call him. Don't get it twisted now. They need a star player because they have bigger goals in mind. Look, they want to get a superstar in there. To get that superstar, they're going to have at least 2 big-time players, whether that's Jimmy Butler or Blake Griffin is another name you hear. I mean, there's all kinds of guys they've been trying to get with those picks, but it takes 2 to tango. Somebody's got to say yes, you know. And so Danny Ainge is endeavoring to do that. I don't think they will keep all 3 picks. They don't want to keep all 3 picks. That's the bait that they want to use to try and add that second player, which will get them that 3rd player.
I just wonder, DA, if you feel like Danny Ainge sees a young player. I mean, maybe like at a University of Washington, you know, Marquise Chris is an 18-year-old kid. Boston's not in a position where they have time to develop a player, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
not a freshman.
That 3rd pick is we've got to go get a superstar and dangle this out there to get somebody who complements what we have on the perimeter and to find some shooting to start to explode here.
No question. And so they're not going to take a freshman, a one-and-done guy at that pick. I can't see them doing that. You know, that's where a guy like Chris Dunn maybe what makes some sense, but he's made it clear he doesn't want to go any place where they already have an incumbent point guard. So Danny's got some, you know, he's got the key, but I don't know if he's got the engine. You know, you can try to turn it, but you need somebody else to help you start the car.
You know, if he's forced to keep the pick and they don't want to go young in terms of, you know, a younger player, then if I put on my GM cap, then you say, okay, out of the 4 players left, who's the most ready to play?
Right.
And you look at a guy like a Jaylen Brown who has the NBA body, who has the NBA skill set, who has the type of athleticism that you can step in, put him in an NBA game right now, play 20 minutes, and he won't embarrass you. But he has that wow factor. Out of the guys, we have guys who can shoot the basketball, but you know, in the NBA, you want that wow factor. You want that guy who can make the fans go, ooh, and buy some popcorn. And Jaylen Brown gives you that.
Yeah, well, I mean, he certainly is very talented. Again, I'm not, you know, the one and done, I think they're a little, but I'll say this, they tried to do it last.
They do want a veteran.
Yeah, and
but
they did if not, and they tried to get Winslow last year. It was also one. So they're not. It's not like there's a prohibition on that. I think their preference would be to go older, but certainly Jaylen Brown, from a talent standpoint, from a potential standpoint, is a guy that is going to be hard to pass up because of his skill set.
David, is there a player in this draft who could really tilt or set in motion the dominoes? A guy who's maybe a wild card pick who would determine who other teams select?
I still think Chris Dunn is a guy that is going to. A lot of people are going to have to take a real hard look at him. He's a ready-made point guard. He's played multiple years in college. He's got an NBA body. He defends. He passes. All of the things, and it's a point guard league now. And you can't, there's nobody close to this guy in terms of potential, in my view, in terms of point guard. So I would think after the first 2, in whatever order they go in, that 3 spot of a team that needs a point guard wants to move up to get Chris Dunn, that would make a lot of sense to me.
I agree with you. And when you look at 3 and 4, unfortunately, they have point guards.
Right.
But he is the point guard in this draft that I think everybody is swimming and fishing trying to get.
All right. Can't wait. Always good theater, the NBA draft, and we'll see how it unfolds. Thank you, David.